Hello, I'm Denise Chapman. I'm here today with Josh Bouk, Senior Vice President of Global Services at Veramark Technologies Incorporated. Josh, why are so many of your call accounting customers upgrading to Veramark's telecom expense management solutions?
As customers grow and mature in their management of their overall expense around their telecom environment, they first invest in call accounting because they want to understand the usage and they want to understand compliance issues around how their employees are using their voice networks. But as they get their arms around that, the natural evolution is to bring in invoices, is to bring in inventory, and be able to give visibility to the total expense of the voice and data and wireless environment across their enterprise, and push that out to the cost centers and to the individuals that are truly driving that business. The advantage of doing that with Veramark is that as they've already invested in Verismart, our call accounting solution, Verismart is also our full TEM package. So all they have to do is flip a few switches in their configuration, and those modules come alive and they're able to start managing more of their expense. It's the same application. They don't have to learn a new set of tools, but they're able to continue their investment and be able to gain the benefits of a full TEM solution.
How long does it take to implement a Veramark TEM solution, and can you tell me what kind of results can customers typically expect to see?
Yeah, this is one of the more popular questions with our new customers and certainly in the industry. And there's a great deal of probably marketing around these timelines. But in all honesty, it's ends up being typically on the very short side, 90 days. You really can't do it faster than that, even when the stars align. And then for the average, it's probably closer to 4.5 months, perhaps getting up to 6 months, depending on how distributed that organization is. The more centralized it is, the faster that organization can be implemented and be up and running. But if it's a large, international organization that is currently distributed in how they manage invoices, being able to pull all those invoices in, being able to redirect invoices from the carriers, and most importantly, get the individuals who are doing procurement, who are ordering new services, who are negotiating contracts, getting them all pulled in and getting their mind share to the total solution. It just takes a little bit longer, but ultimately, that's well worth the time invested, because to answer your second part of your question, what we find is that the ROI in the first year is usually at least 2 to 1. The payback is usually somewhere in month 5 or 6 in terms of a break-even standpoint, and from there on, the whole program is run out of savings typically. It's a rare event that wouldn't happen.
Some examples of how Veramark customers are using your telecom expense management services and solution to control their telecom environment and reduce spend.
Oh, sure. While I can't name names because we work with all multi-billion-dollar organizations and they have multi-billion-dollar lawyers, I can give you a few sort of examples. There's one of the nation's largest retailers. They have 1,200. It's a big box retailer, 1,200. Maybe more stores across the nation and North America. They have a spend of over $130 million a year and a very complex wireless environment to boot. So the Veramark has gone in and in the first 9 months we were able to save that customer over $7 million of verified savings. And as we've gone on, the real benefit of that program has been steady improvements over time, that we continue to drive down costs, drive out costs, optimize procurement cycles, and help them negotiate contracts better so that their overall spend is getting reduced significantly. Also important is to get the awareness and visibility of how an individual's behavior influences the costs into the organization. So through the MySmart portal that exposes a customer to all the individual data, A store manager, for example, would be able to log into the MySmart portal, and they can see all of their particular store's charges, their employees' wireless charges, how they use those devices, and they can start making real decisions on whether they want those costs in their cost center, or whether they can achieve the same benefits without incurring those costs, the same business results without incurring those costs.
There seems to be some significant benefits and payback with a TEM solution. Why doesn't every company already have one in place, do you think?
Well, a lot do. In the Fortune, the Fortune 2000, Global 2000, many do, most do. Now, they may or may not have achieved the results that they would like to. Historically, in the industry, there's been a fair amount of failed projects, shall we say, and that's that everybody has a story as to why, but we don't concern ourselves with that. What we do try to do is for every customer that doesn't have a program, and for those that do but haven't maybe achieved the results that they wanted, we bring in a maturity model that helps them understand, well, here's where you are today, and here's where you need to get to incrementally. So incremental, typically with change management in large enterprises, you want to take baby steps. Wholesale changes are very rarely are successful. So our approach in our implementations is to do just that. Now, I think a lot of companies that don't have programs today are struggling with the idea of doing more work in their viewpoint, taking on an implementation when they're already so understaffed. Right now, it's no secret in this economy, telecom departments, IT departments are asked to do so much more than they ever have before, and with so many fewer resources. So what we want to do as we go in terms of our implementation is to minimize the impact on those resources. We can't do it completely, right? They have to be involved, but what we try to do is set their expectations early on, and then honor those expectations and make sure that we're asking for only the amount of time and the support that we absolutely need to be able to deliver that implementation in a timely manner.
Do you have any final thoughts for our viewers who might be on the fence about pursuing a TEM solution or still have questions?
Sure, yeah. There are, what I would tell you is that there's probably three things you want to focus on. If time is of the essence, if savings is of the essence, and if your resources are limited, which probably is all of you, the three things you want to focus on are sourcing, and making sure that your contracts are optimized. We can help you with that on a project basis. The second is making sure you have a very solid understanding of your inventory. Taking on a TEM project without first identifying your inventory is almost a throwaway exercise. You can process bills, but if you want to do anything more than just process bills, you need to identify your inventory first. And in Veramark's implementations, we always start with an inventory project. And then the third area is really, if you're looking for quick hits, really focus on wireless. If you're a typical customer, often your wireless environment has gotten a little awry through the requirements of the business and through the rapid deployment and development of new wireless technologies, wireless devices. We can help you get that all under control, both from a financial perspective and an operational perspective, as you may need support in a wireless help desk or in receiving and shipping and ordering and provisioning those different wireless devices. So really the three things that you want to focus on first and foremost are your sourcing, your inventory, and your wireless. And then as you tackle those and you reap the savings that you're going to reap from those, then you can apply the rest of 10 best practices to your overall environment and truly get optimized.